This rig rundown is presented by the Yamaha DXR series.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Terry with Premier Guitar. I'm here in Louisville, Kentucky today with Jesse Lacey and the rest of his band, Brand New. Really excited to see the show, man.
Thanks.
And I have personally had a bunch of questions about your tone since Devil and God, so I can't wait to get into it, man.
Seriously?
Dude.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Oh, I got a tone boner for that record. And Daisy too. It's just some of my favorite tones in heavy and rock music ever. So I guess we'll start with your guitars.
Yeah, this is like a late 70s Tele that my friend John Nolan, who plays in Taking Back Sunday, I think we took it from like one of his church worship leaders when we were in high school, and he let me borrow it a long time ago, and I never gave it back to him. So, but I've used that on pretty much every record that we've recorded. It's taken its share of beating, yeah, but it kind of adds to it.
Have you modified the pickups or anything? Or is it
yeah, actually, I had it refurbished. Probably. Oh, actually, when we were doing Devil and God, we were recording up in Massachusetts, and I think I had like a Novak Tele pickup put in it, and then the neck pickup is the original, and everything else on it's original. As far as I know, maybe like the tuners and stuff might not be, but
yeah, the frets are pretty worn. They might be.
Yeah,
it sounds like we got a radio signal coming through.
Yeah, we got a little Mexican radio, I think, going on.
Love that. Cool.
And then the Jazzmasters, I bought two probably about 6 years ago. And I don't know which they are. They're like the classic player ones, you know, that were kind of getting popular around when they were reissuing them. And I have this one and a black one that I don't have with me right now because it's kind of busted up. We're getting it all back together.
Gotcha.
But they painted the headstocks for me at the custom shop to match, and both of these have the original electronics in them. I have buzz stops rollers on both of them that my friend Brady's trying to get me to take off, but I can't.
Yeah, actually, one of the questions we got on Facebook was how you guys get all the hum out of the Jazzies.
Yeah, well, actually, these I didn't know until I opened up the black one recently. They have a real heavy, I guess it's like a copper shield inside that you can actually remove, but it's like super well shielded on the inside. But they hum really bad, actually. We have a couple of tricks for the studio, but on stage usually you just kind of go with it. You try to lift certain grounds on your amp or whatever it is, but you know, sometimes you get into a noisy room and you just got to kind of make it part of the show, pretty much. You know. Yeah. As long as you don't turn your volume down, you can just kind of make everything feedback.
Have fun with feedback, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. You got to hide the Mexican radio going on.
What's this little custom guy over here?
That's actually a Stagg. I don't know anything about it. I was looking for like a Jazzmaster-style body for cheap that I could throw around on stage a little bit, and our tech Joe put a Jaguar bridge pickup in it a few years ago, and it actually sounds really good, and I've never thrown it anywhere, so it actually looks like new. And actually, I was gonna get rid of it, but since that black one's been out of commission, the black Jazzmaster, I've been using that, and it sounds really great.
Like it?
So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Very
maybe.
Cool. Not too smashed up.
Yeah,
at all either.
yeah. If I do get rid of it, it'll, you know, I'll let everyone know when it's on eBay.
Gotcha.
It'll be cheap.
All right, so you guys have these 3 guitars. So you're running 3 guitars each.
Yeah.
For different tunings, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, well, usually it's just 2, and then we'll have a backup or 2 backups in case we bust a string or break something, which happens pretty
standard,
often.
or?
Yeah, like probably usually half the set is in 440 E standard, and then the other half is half step down. And some of the songs that we are tuned standard or half step on a record, we might play the other one on stage, depending on where it falls in the set. Gotcha. You know, we usually try to group songs by that. Yeah, 6 and 440,
so you're not
5
running
and
guitars constantly.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, which is usually why a lot of, if anyone's wondering why we always play those 3 songs in a row, it's because they're all tuned in the same way.
Been there, man. That makes perfect sense. Cool. Well, I guess that takes us over to your amps.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously everyone online was asking about these. Out of curiosity, did you play these on the records, or is this just what you tour with?
No, these are new.
Gotcha.
our friend Dan and Bobby, they have a company called Janice in Indiana.
The cabs, right?
Yeah. And Dan was a furniture maker, and him and his friends all played in bands, and he just figured he could make a better cab than what most people were playing. And he kind of goes at it from the idea that most people don't really know what speakers they're playing in their cabinets, and
Sure.
I think he's probably pretty right. I never really thought about it that much. I knew what I had in a couple of my cabinets, but for the most part, I never really thought about it, and I don't think most of them think about it.
Sure.
And so they have a really good relationship with Weber speakers and with Eminence, and they're able to get anything you want. So this cabinet I have, I think an Eminence Swamp Thang and a Delta, like one of their PA speakers, and then in that cab I have Weber like Fane clones.
Very cool.
Which is really cool, because now when I look at that, I actually am thinking about what they're packed with, and it's
Right.
it
Have
changes.
you had shootouts, like swap the heads for the cabs?
I have, but I haven't really had time to pay that much attention to. These are quicker. I think they have a little better mid-range tone. The Fanes might not be the best speaker choice for all these dumb pedals that I have.
Gotcha.
But
Hence the Mexican radio.
it's just awesome to be able to, and yeah, in the future, there's a good chance I'll probably swap a few speakers out and
Sure.
see what, see what sounds best.
Very
Yeah,
cool. So
but they're beautiful
yeah,
also.
They're gorgeous looking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wood is amazing. So are you using the orange for like a cleaner tone and then the Hiwatt for your rock tones, or vice
No,
versa, or?
for a long time I was doing AB stuff. Usually I had a Vox AC30 and then a Fender DeVille sometimes, and yeah, I would do out of 30 and a clean, and then sometimes both on. But I just have all on all the time now.
All on and then just doing it with pedals.
So it's basically the sound that you hear through the PA is a blend of both amps and both cabinets, and because there's two speakers in this cabinet, you can get like a pretty endless amount of different combinations.
Options, sure,
yeah.
yeah.
So Nick or Mike or whoever's doing our sound, Richie, they'll swap mics around until they get a nice blend for whatever the room is, and
Sure.
that's pretty much the point. These are amps I've had for a long time. It's a Highlight era Hiwatt and like a Gibson 90s era OR. Well, it's a 120 now. When I got it, it was an 80.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had this kid Ryan who does amp repair on Long Island. He just put 2 new valve sockets in and added the extra valve, so it's at a full 120
What
now.
do you think changed about the tone? Did it give it some more?
It just
oomph,
got
or?
a lot louder. I don't even
Real
know.
loud,
I
huh?
probably shouldn't be playing it in here. Yeah, but
Yeah, I heard when
it's
you were
a cool
sound checking
amp.
earlier. It was
yeah, I
pretty
actually,
deafening.
I've had that for a long time. I didn't really know the story. I guess when Gibson licensed Orange in the 90s, they had Mad Amp building all those amps, and so the OR80 and the 120 were the same amp.
With one mod.
Yeah, with just 2. The 120 had extra valves, but they screened the load switch on the back for the ohms. They were the same thing, and so everyone who had an 80 watt was blowing all their power transformers because they were playing it at the wrong load.
Ohmage,
And I
right?
did that twice to this before I realized what was going on.
Bummer.
So now it's what it's supposed to be, and it's great.
Yeah, man,
and
I've
loud.
always been a huge fan of those. And Hiwatt stuff is so rad too. Do you know how
Yeah.
old that Hiwatt is? It looks like an older one.
I know who Harry Joyce and Dave Reeves are, and I think it's from the Harry Joyce era,
Gotcha.
which I guess is the Highlight era. I got it. I think I got that when we were recording Devil and God also, and
Very cool.
found it on eBay or Craigslist or something like that. Yeah,
All right, man. I guess that just takes us to pedals.
cool. My favorite.
All right, so Jesse, let's talk pedals because it looks like you got some kind of cool custom.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
So, you built this, right?
Yeah, I built it. I did all the soldering, and I soldered all the cables and put the whole thing together. And I don't know. I really like doing construction stuff like that, and I really like gear and guitar pedals. So it was a good opportunity to be able to bring weird stuff out on the road and not have to worry about it getting all beat up. Everything's pretty well locked down on here.
It looks really tight. All the
and
wheels look great.
with the controller, I'm not stepping on anything.
Right, so you're not constantly clicking.
Everything's on pretty much all the time. Yeah.
Well, where do you come in?
The board's actually hardwired, so the input's in the board, and then there's two inputs. One is wired to this DI, which is an acoustic out, which goes to the PA, and then the input goes into the controller. And then there are 10 loops on this controller. It's made by Gig Rig. They're a company in the UK. I just read about it. They make a MIDI version, but this is just pretty much an analog version, where each loop or each switch basically has the ability to turn on any of the 10 loops that you have up top. You just flick the switches on and
just pick which one you want it to be.
Yeah, it's made for, stupid people like me, pretty much. So this was really intuitive and easy to use. And so basically the guitar goes into here, and then I have 10 or more pedals looped in to the top, and each one of these is a preset for a different thing.
Yeah, it looks like you have them labeled by song.
Yeah, some of them are labeled by song, some are just the sound. Like, usually if it's a song like this is a quiet fuzz drive that I use for the song Jesus, I only use it once during the set, so I know that at that point. Yeah, but other sounds like this is just the amps. This is the first overdrive. It's a Walrus Voyager. So these are pretty similar in sounds, but this I'll use through the whole set.
Sure.
This setting, this setting, this setting. This group right here, actually, I use pretty much through every song. They're just various overdrive settings. Then most of the left of the board are different delays and modulations and things like that.
Have you had this set up for a while and gotten really comfortable and you know where it's at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the first to admit that this is kind of overkill, but it's fun because this is what I do for a living, so
why not?
I like the idea of having nice tools.
Sure.
And what makes this great is that I'm singing all the time, and it's enough trying to figure out what chords I'm playing and to remember the lyrics and then let alone having to be stepping on 10 pedals. So the fact that I can hit one switch and know that it's turning on 2 pedals and turning off another 2 makes the whole singing, playing guitar thing a lot easier.
Dancing all night, yeah. That's
Exactly.
Totally comfortable.
Exactly.
Cool. So for fuzz, it looks like you have the Voyager and then also a Fuzz Roches.
This is, well, the fuzz pedals, which I'm a really big Muff fan, and a lot of the fuzz pedals. This a BYOC Beaver. That's, I think, probably my favorite Big Muff clone. And then, I also have the Small Sound, Big Sound Buzz, and then a Hot Kick, which is an overdrive pedal, but it gets into some fuzz tones. And that's it. Well, that's it for fuzz pedals. That Blue Box is modded also.
Yeah.
When you crank it all the way up, it gets pretty good fuzz. There's a mod you can find online for that pretty much anyone can do. You pretty much just open it up and you clip a little diode out and you close it back up. You don't got to do anything. Just get a pair of clippers.
Squeals, huh?
Yeah, it opens it up. It's I think that's kind of a pretty video gamey kind of pedal. And when you take that thing out, it doesn't do that quite as much. It's a lot more usable kind of overdrive fuzz pedal.
What was the pedal originally?
It's an Mxr Blue Box.
Oh, it's the Blue Box.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's not like one of the old ones. It's just one of the
So
newer.
you can do that mod to any of them?
Yeah, literally you can open it up. I mean, it's probably the easiest pedal mod to do. As long as you have a screwdriver and like a pair of clippers or like a pocket knife, you could probably cut that thing. Yeah, cut that thing out of there.
Cool.
Exactly.
What's up with this Deluxe Plus?
Brady, my guitar tech, my friend, he gave me that. It's actually a trem and reverb pedal.
Oh.
It's a real Fender 20. It's just really nice. I had something else in there, I forget what it was, but he just let me try that, and I haven't taken it off the board. That was a couple tours ago. That's pretty new, actually. So Brady used to work. He started a company called Walrus, which is what this pedal is, and he's got his own company now called Old Blood Noise, and that's the first pedal they're releasing, the Black Fountain, which is like an oil can delay, which I have no idea what that is, but it's a really, really nice kind of
Is it a different kind of delay than?
Yeah, it does a little like quavery modulation thing, and it's got a reverb setting on it, which is really nice.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, in the past year especially, I've gotten to know a few really good people that make gear. Dan, the guys that do the cabinets, and Janice, and then Brian Hamilton is at Small Sound Big Sound. He's in a band called Cymbals Eat Guitars, and his pedals are amazing. And then this is Fuzz Roche's. This is the Zool pedal, which is just pretty much, I can only use it for like noise making because it's so crazy. I actually have to keep it off because when I turn it on, even if it's not in the chain, the whole board starts thumping, which is really funny. But they're all really nice people, and they all make really cool things and really creative, artistic things. And yeah, it's nice to be able to have that connection. Not only is it cool because it's cool gear, but to know the people behind it that are doing it, and to know that they're dedicated and friendly. Yeah, exactly.
They love what they're doing, and you love what you're doing, man. It's a win-win combo for sure.
That's pretty much it. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. It's just a bunch of fuzz pedals and delay pedals and tremolo pedals through a controller.
So just,
Yeah.
Is that how, one of our Facebook questions was, how do they get the wall of sound, that they're getting? I guess it's
you turn a lot of pedals on at once. No, I mean, you can't do that. You do have to find things that work well together, and I think just by some amount of coincidence, talking to our sound guys, is that Vin has stumbled on a sound that complements the sound that I've stumbled on really well. We work on things in the studio pretty hard, but with live stuff, you just kind of. It's a funny thing about us, actually, is that when we started out playing small clubs, you didn't have a mic on your guitar cabinet.
Right.
The mic.
412 cab.
Yeah, the PA was the only. The vocals were the only thing in the PA, so you just kind of competed for volume on stage. You were just trying to get louder than the guy next to you so you could hear yourself. And since we moved into a larger room thing 10 or 12 years ago, we never really let go of that. So we still have that thing where I just want to be louder than Vin, and Vin just wants to be, And it's really not a good way to go, because you're really kind of crippling the sound guy out front, who is our friend and very talented and is responsible for making us sound good. But it's you're in a guitar band, you just want to be loud. And I
get it.
Yeah, so that's what we do.
Very cool, man. Well, I guess, I feel like from Devil and God on, the sound has matured so much. Do you think that's in the writing or in the producing or in?
I think, yeah.
I mean, I love your old stuff, but I feel like it's like day or night. It's like, wow, they turned it on. This is amazing.
I don't know. I think it's hard to really quantify exactly what it was.
Altogether, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, when I look back at it, the closest thing that I can relate it to is just like the personal side of our lives, which always fed the creative side.
Be a reflection of this, absolutely.
Yeah, so our relationships grew, and who we were as people changed, and then when you combine that with an interest in songwriting, an interest in music production, like getting better at your instrument, which I'm still probably not very good, but that all kind of comes together, and then it just turns into something so different than it was 4 years ago.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean,
No, it's actually at some point been kind of like it became the identifying thing about our band.
How much you had changed?
I guess it was something more to us about like having this like an audible catalog of like us growing up.
I guess, like now that you mention that, it's probably one of my, one of the reasons I love your band. There's a number of bands like Thrice, for example, that I loved when I was a kid, but that totally grew with me like emotionally and in my taste in music. And so I think that's a really beautiful thing that you guys are doing. And
when you mention a band like that, they're good friends of ours, and I don't think it's a coincidence that we were always attracted to those kinds of people, because you know, you spend a lot of time with them on the road, doing the same thing, and so you end up surrounding yourselves with people that are kind of like-minded.
Sure.
And they've shared a lot of the same experiences that we've had, and yeah, the same with Kevin, you know, who's always out with us, Me Without You. Those are
Awesome.
people that we love what they did, but when you really think about it, we love what they did because it was so closely related experience-wise to what we were going through, the same thing. Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned that band, because like Brand New and also like Thrice, you guys almost kind of are a crossover band in a way where it's like you kind of cover pop punk fans and rock and roll fans and like, you know, people that are even into, you know, super like 90s emo stuff. I mean, it's
which is, I mean, and that's like if you looked at my life playlist, I went through all those things at some point, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Not surprising.
Well, Dan, man, I gotta tell you, it's been a pleasure to
you too
and relate. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Yeah. This is I hope you guys got what you want. It feels weird talking about these things because, yeah, but it's cool to know that people are interested.
People are interested, man, for
sure.
For
that's
sure.
rad. Thank you.
Man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take it easy. All right, guys, now we're talking to Joe Cannetti here, who is Brand New's guitar tech, and he's gonna run us through Vincent's guitars and amps really quick. I guess with the number one.
The number one is a 60th Anniversary Cyclone.
Look at that bad boy.
Got it. Just asked Fender for it when it wanted something different, and that's what they gave us, and he loves it.
That's interesting.
They gave us another one. It didn't sound anything like it.
Is it an actual humbucker, or is that two single coils?
No, that's an atomic humbucker.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's his number one for standard tuning, and then this is a 60th Anniversary Tele Deluxe.
Tele Deluxe.
For the drop tuning.
Bad boy's been through the ringer.
Yeah, it has a Cyclone neck on it because it just broke the headstock off of the other one.
They pretty much lose it live.
This guitar takes the brunt of
it.
Yeah,
Very cool. And is it stock pickups?
Yeah, everything's stock except for the neck, of course.
Yeah,
but,
obviously since that broke, but a little Strat action.
Yeah, this is a '92 Strat. He got when he was a kid. He got it when he was 10, and it's all stock. One night thought that guitar, that's why it's all banged up.
Oh, wow.
He wanted to keep it in good shape, but a little,
Beautiful guitar.
Man. Yeah. It's all stock.
And you guys he's playing these Janice cabs over here.
He's playing Janice cabs as well.
They're gorgeous looking. I like that he's got the dark walnut. And the cherry over there. That's cool aesthetically. And I know we can't see the amp right now because of the way it's positioned. I'll get you guys a still photo of it, but could you tell us about it?
Yeah, we just got it from Fender. It's a Super Bassman 300 watt bass amp. Yeah, I mean 90% of his.
So you're getting just a really loud, clean tone, and then doing everything with the pedals.
Right. We were doing. He was always playing a JMP through a 2x12 Marshall and a Fender Twin, and it just wasn't doing it for him.
Wasn't working out.
Yeah, 90% of his clean stuff is on the neck pickup and just muddy and breaking up. So that cab's got two 15s in it, and this one has two 12s. They're both running at the same time, and it's super clean.
Easy peasy Japanese.
Super loud, super clean.
Start clean, play with it.
Yep.
I like that approach.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we'll take a look at some pedals.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Let's talk about these pedals. Can you kind of take us through the chain real quick?
Yeah, the chain starts over here with the pitch shifters.
Got a super shifter, and then is this also a?
That's also a super shifter. This one goes up, and this one goes down.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
Love that.
Goes then to the Gig Effects chopper, which is used in one song on purpose, I guess, and the rest is just to make weird, just noise. Yeah,
the crazy squealies and stuff.
It's chops it. It's like a the tremolo.
Cool.
And then over to the Dimebag wah into.
Tried and true.
Yep. I mean, we got the Dirty Little Secret from Cattle and Bread, which we got to replace the JMP. He didn't want to, you know, we were A-Bing, so all the clean stuff was the twin, and the JMP was all the dirty stuff, so he didn't want to A-B anymore. He just wanted to use 1 amp. And this is based off of the JMP, so it's
Do you feel
perfect.
like it's pretty accurate?
Yeah, it's dead on. Yeah, it's
That's
dead
awesome.
on. Yeah, it's great. Then that into the Rat.
Sure.
Rat into a Shredmaster. You know, then
Master, that's cool.
yeah, and then the other boss portion of the, you know, it's all standard.
Super chorus, a phase shifter, a trem.
Yep, and then it goes down from the phase shift. It goes to the Old Blood Noise Endeavors Black Fountain, which is the oil can delay that our
Jesse also plays that, right?
yeah, that our other tech Brady makes, and then just into
So
delays.
your other tech Brady actually makes this pedal?
Yes, that's his company, Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know, good to know. And then just, are those both identical? Is this a DD6 and a 7? Or?
Yeah, it's a 6 and a 7. One's like a little slapback, and the other one's just a mid-length delay.
Gotcha. So this is just to control basically the rate of tremolo.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Show me how that works real quick. That's really cool.
That's it.
Very cool. Like tape noise. Sounds.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
that, man. That's too cool for school.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, hey, I really appreciate you walking us through all of this.
Sure.
And talking about
You got it.
But, you guys have a great show.
Yeah,
We'll get
thank
out of
you.
Here. This is Perry with Premier Guitar. Stay tuned to our other rig rundowns. Make sure you add us on Facebook and YouTube and all the fun stuff. And talk to you soon.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.